Oh.
Sorry, nervous starting. I'm glad it hasn't started yet. Go. All right. Welcome, everyone, to D&D Tonight After Hours. Oh, great. Thanks, Noah. Tell me that we didn't get that. Never mind. Welcome to D&D Tonight After Hours. With me are a bunch of new faces for this new episode. We get to show off a bunch of our cool people in our community. We're sponsored by Corporate Streams, and we will, we will go into them a little bit at the end of our episode here. I'd like to go ahead and introduce everyone and have them say who they are going to be playing, starting with Mr. Jonathan.
Hello, I'm Jonathan. I'm going to be playing Runic, a mountain dwarf, archer, fighter, arcane archer, yes.
Alrighty. And then we have Rachel joining us.
Hi, I'm going to be playing another mountain dwarf. It's really hard not to say hill dwarf. I get you there, Jonathan. And Micah is a barbarian.
And then Mr. Christian joining us again.
Hi, I'm playing a half-elf wild magic sorcerer named Hariel Stormcaller.
And finally, we have Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm playing a little gnome boy, and he's a rogue.
Alrighty. So we begin our adventure here in Eberron, and just to kind of give you guys an idea of those of you who are watching possibly for the first time, After Hours is a sequential episodic adventure, but if you haven't seen the last episode, don't worry about it. Each of these are almost like self-contained one-shots going on in an ongoing world. So while it will reward you to watch the entire series, you don't need to see any particular episode in order to get on right here, because this is going to be a self-contained story, although you may see these players again. After Hours is also a high risk, high reward kind of game. So the difficulty is higher, but the payout is also better. So over time, as you guys play, you will be able to get larger amounts of fortune in which you can buy magical items and other such things in the highly fantastical world of Eberron. And so we begin our adventure very far away from the city of Sharn, as we have begun in previous episodes. You all find yourselves in the Lazar Principalities, what is essentially the pirate nation of Covair. During the last war, or at least at the end of it, the Lazar Principalities were declared by Prince Rhaegar as a country itself. And although they are represented as a country united, they are anything but. Every single day, a person could go from being a sailor to being a prince of their own private island, or have the opportunity to lose everything in this area. The four of you are all here late at night on your way to a place called the Siren's Palace, a small bar. Bar is actually the wrong way to describe it. It's more of an exclusive club, the classier place in the Lazar Principalities located on Nine Bay Island. Each of you have received a notice and accepted a contract from House Thorani. House Thorani is an elven dragon-marked house, meaning that their line hereditarily passes on a magical symbol that allows them to have an innate control of a certain magical essence. Thorani is known for two things: entertainment and assassination. They are also known for paying very, very well. And so we joined four characters being pulled on a small raft by rope on this almost sheen glassy water. As you approach the Siren's Palace, there are ever-burning lights that are reflected brilliantly in the pool of waters around this establishment. Everything is lit up. Every single crevice and corner is bright and exciting and inviting with orange and red hues. And as you guys are serenely pulled in, you see others on small little gondolas just kind of passing by, people who are either on their way to or from the Siren's Palace. It's a sizable establishment, maybe about 50 feet by 50 feet as you guys enter in, and you can start to hear the sounds of music playing. The cord in which is pulling you only holds 4 passengers this evening. 2 mountain dwarfs, one noticeable by their luxuriously flowing, almost elven-like hair, and the other known for her incredibly red, brilliant beard. Also with them is an elf, one who could be described as shorter for an elf, but nonetheless, it's his undercut hair tied back in a very neat ponytail. You also take note of a trinket-bound, gnomish roguelike figure with bandanas covering all parts of their outfit. As you guys are pulling in, I'd like you all to make perception checks.
I got a 9.
Excellent.
I have a 19.
Also, oh.
8.
13.
Okay. So it is Hariel and Mika who are able to see a figure on the rooftops of this building. You can see sort of the oh goodness, the shingles and where it stands only moving ever so slightly, and the form of someone who is who seems to be covering themselves with an invisibility spell stands up, and you can notice through like the light distortion around that covers this entire building, and that's the only way that you take notice of them. They quickly retreat over into the roof and drop down, for even more so unseen than when you just caught the glimpse of them. As you guys are being pulled into this area, you notice that as the sound is getting louder, you can hear the sounds of like people crying out in joy or in terror as they win or lose games of chance. There is music being played and people dancing inside this area. And as you walk up, you see 2 very finely dressed guards, both bearing the mark of a shadow hound on their armband, signifying House Thorani. One speaks, although you can't tell if it's from the left or the right, and they say, "Names."
Mika?
Ariel?
Kerbal.
Do we all know each other?
You guys have all met, certainly.
Okay. I'm just gonna go up. Runic.
This man pulls down his wrist and speaks something into it. And a moment later, you guys are ushered to go inside and look for the man with the white lotus on his lapel. And what an insight it is. There are games being run using dice. There is a band currently playing a slower song where people are just kind of slow dancing. You see an upper portion and a lower portion. On the lower portion, you see a fully stocked bar with 3 bartenders all pouring drinks for people. And you see a huge pit where people are betting on 2 cockatrices fighting it out. Where would you guys like to go?
Micah's not very fond of the cockatrice fight. She's very much an animal enthusiast, and that makes her very upset. So not there.
Okay.
Is there anyone around who looks kind of official?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
11.
11. Looking for someone who seems to be in charge, you see a number of noticeable guards who are keeping eyes on the tables of where the games are being played. You do not notice any like higher ranking person above anyone else or anything that would signify something like that around. Of course, talk is cheap.
Okay, I want to go up to one of the guards that are overseeing the dice games.
Okay. As you approach them, they look around, they say, "The buy-in is 150 gold pieces. The line begins back there." And you notice like 3 people just kind of looking over with drinks in hand, waiting for someone to get up from their seat.
Apologies, sir. I am not here to play. My compatriots and I are searching for a man in this building with a white lotus on his lapel.
The man looks over at you and he says, "Yeah, I think I'd seen a gentleman. I know who you're looking for. You're looking for a gentleman at the bar. Goes by the name Avane.
Can you spell that?
Ahvain."
Great. Thank you, good sir.
"Oh, it'd be my pleasure. Enjoy your stay at the Siren's Palace." He goes back to watching the game, and he points at someone and says, "Hey, re-roll that." And as you walk away, it seems to get a little bit louder, and then very, very quiet. Looking back over your shoulder, you see 2 extra guards who appeared seemingly from nowhere, dragging a man away from the table.
Right. I go back to the rest of the party and I tell them that the man is named Alvain and he is at the bar. I also mentioned though that as we were coming in, I noticed that we were being watched by someone with an invisibility spell. Did anyone else notice that?
Yeah, I saw it too, but I wasn't sure if I was just seeing things.
Okay, I'm
Glad
glad
to
it
know
wasn't
somebody else
just me.
spotted it. Yeah.
How'd you spot that?
It was the way the energy of the magic interacted with the air around it. No invisibility is truly perfect. And if you look well enough, you can see where the light bends just the wrong way.
I just saw a shadow on the roof.
Runic, during this time, are you closer to the front or the back of this area?
I just stayed by the entrance. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on things, making sure I know where my quote-unquote party is.
Gotcha. Keeping an eye on them. Would you mind making me another perception check?
Sure, that's going to be an 11.
11. Looking around this area, there's a lot going on. You can see that someone has very much lost a lot of money at that cockatrice fight. You can see that in the corner of the room from where Hariel just came back from, there's someone being dragged away from the table and being thrown into the water outside. You don't get much more than that, but there is a scent that kind of that you detect on your nostril, which is something of like, it smells vaguely of sandalwood. Can't quite place its actual source though. This area has a lot of people who are smoking, drinking, and there is some dancing going around. So if you've ever been in the club late at night, that hot like sweat kind of permeating the air above you, everyone nods. Okay, didn't have to go into too much detail there.
Would I know if that's like smell or is caused by like any magical effect?
Not by magical effect. Well, make an Arcana check.
It's going to be a 12.
Excellent. Knock him out of the park there, man. From what little you know about magic, you don't recall the use of a spell having a scent per se, not at least one that doesn't use components. But having heard and pairing it with the information of seeing someone invisible, you do know that invisibility only covers the senses of what you can see, not what you can hear or smell. So,
Okay. I'm looking to the rest of the party. Like, so should we head to the bar?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Let's go find a vein, you said?
Avain, yeah.
Okay.
You go down the stairs and walk by all manner of people. You see shifters who are dressed immaculately, as well as some elves and gnomes discussing certain things while enjoying drinks, walking up the stairs. Everyone is dressed very, very well here. This isn't a bar. This isn't like this isn't a dive bar of any kind of sort. This is a classy establishment, and there seems to be like a dress code. And as you guys move about this area and see so many people dressed well, you also take into account that some of you are wearing leathers, bandanas. Some of you have beautiful hair just coming out of your head and not tied up in any kind of neater way. As you approach the bar itself, there's a furbolg who is currently like shaking something together, and a man with the signature flower that was mentioned before, elvish, dark hair, oversitting it and talking to a woman. Looks to be human with auburn hair.
I'm gonna look at the furbolg.
Okay.
Just very calmly ask, can I afford any of this?
He says, well, that depends. How much do you have on you?
I'm just gonna take out my little bag and count like 4 gold pieces.
He's like, I can fix you up something for this.
For all of it?
For the 4 gold you have there, yeah, absolutely. And he reaches under the bar and like pours out it pours something from a spigot, but as it pours, it looks to be like red in color.
Sure, I'll take it. I'm just gonna push on my coins.
He takes it. He's like, enjoy.
And as I'm drinking, I'm gonna look to the rest of the party. Okay, guys, I'm officially broke, so we need a job soon.
Does Ave know that we're coming? Like, is he expecting us?
Yeah, he has called you. He's a member of House Thorani, although you know that someone is expecting you from House Thorani, and you're guessing that Avane is this person.
Okay. Is the seat next to him, the seat like where the human woman isn't, is it like empty? Can I sit there?
In fact, a person just got up now, so yes.
Okay, I take the seat next to him, and I say to the Furbolg, how much for 1 gold? Loud enough to let Avane know that I am next to him, without interrupting his conversation.
The man takes no notice of you, and the Furbolg says, for that, I could probably get you a lager, probably some bottom shelf stuff, but I'll pretend you paid extra for it.
That's fine.
He goes ahead and brings out a tankard and places it in front of you. The beer is cold and frothy.
I begin to drink it.
He goes ahead and he takes the gold. He kind of like knocks it against the bar a couple times. Then he like throws it into an undisclosed place underneath. You can hear the conversation that the man is having next to you. It looks like he's trying very hard to woo this girl, and by showing off impressive stuff like, yes, half the stake in this entire place belongs to me, believe it or not. Took me half a year to get it up and running, but I've turned it from some backwater dish town sort of nothing and put a few good ship's lumber worth into it, and now here we are. Go ahead and make an insight check.
That's a nat 20.
At 20,
Hey.
she is unimpressed.
I lean over and I go, and I've heard he's quite well off, or so I'm hoping.
The man kind of turns to you and says, well, yes, I'm known pretty well around these parts for having this fine place bringing a good amount of fortune. And he kind of gives you kind of this wary look. He's like, who might you be, sir?
You don't remember me. You are,
I believe in you. You can do it, Christian.
Sorry, my character's a lightweight. My character's a little drunk right now.
Gotcha.
Off that 1 sip of the lager. Oh, I was on the street. My wagon was broken, and you so courteously helped repair it.
Make a deception check.
Oh man, the things I do to help out a bro. It's a 5.
It's a 5?
Yeah.
It says, right, well, be that as it may, he kind of looks at you skeptically. I would like to attend to my own company. And you see on his shoulder, it looks like the impression of 4 fingers on a hand that's not there. And he stops mid-sentence. He's like, oh, of course I remember you. Please, come with me. And he kind of stands up and he begins to lead you guys into a back room. Would everyone like to follow at this time? Or is there anything else you guys would like to do in this area?
Well, they were taking care of business at the bar. I wanted to sneak around and just kind of get the lay of the land and like listen to conversations and see like what I can hear and kind of sneakily figure out what's going on in these people's lives.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
$18.
18. There it is. Alrighty. With an 18, you're able to pick up a lot of conversation. Those not currently playing games are in conversations at tables and just passing by. You hear people say, I heard House Thrash found a huge cache of dragon shards. Those will probably fetch a pretty penny. He's like, why, are you in the market? He's like, I might be. Just need to get some capital. Maybe I can hire one of those clifftop people. Another conversation that you overhear is something related to the undead from in Shattuckar are really giving the Thrain some issues. You know, one's got to wonder how long they're going to keep running things from a monarchy kind of view. Everyone knows the Church of the Silver Flame runs it all. like, keeping up appearances is important in more than one ways, Mason. And they're like, hey, we don't need to go into my personal life. Moving through that, you can hear, yeah, I hear it's right here in off one of the islands somewhere. Boatload of golds. Probably the entire thing is worth upwards of 500,000 gold pieces. But good luck trying to find it. He's like, you know what? I might have some ways. And the last conversation you hear, yeah, the Wind Whisperers are looking to get another airship. If House Lyrander happens to fly too close overhead, you bet they're going to be sweet for the pickings on that one. Nice roll.
Thank you.
As we're following, I guess, Hariel, I assume he told us about where we are going.
Yeah, and you would be close enough to see.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit him. It's like, wagons? We use electric trains now.
Look, being a wingman is a thankless job.
You tried.
The three of you are for sure going in. Kerbal, are you also following in after hearing as much as you could hear?
Yeah, I follow in, and I also kind of make an imprint in my mind of the guys that were talking about the boatload of gold.
You got it. You go ahead and walk into this kind of back private room. You can see some curtains undrawn. It looks like this is an area for more private affairs or VIP sections, and you guys are brought into a larger back room. He says, oh, I apologize for all the deception. You can come out now. And behind the four of you appears a person cloaked with a dragon mark on their face. They have sharp, intense eyes. One of them orange, the other brown. Their hair is a darker black that is kind of swept back in a somewhat mohawk, but is tied off by a small ponytail as he kind of lifts his hood. He has 2 rings on his right finger for Kerbal, because you'd be looking, and a sword at his side. Looking about, he says, I want to thank you, everyone, for answering the call for help. You can leave now. He kind of looks over to the man with the white lapel, and he kind of walks out. He says, my name is Arvain Duthurani, and I appreciate your discretion in this matter. You don't know how safe things are. And he goes ahead and he takes out a small little, what looks to be a cylinder, and pulls off like one side of it, and you can kind of hear this sparking before a small little flame goes out, and he drops. He's like, that will keep unwanted ears off of us for a good hour. We have much to discuss. There's a job I'd like you all to consider. And he goes ahead and he sits down at a table and begins to pull out a piece of paper and unfolds it. He says, here's what we know so far. About a week ago, one of our service members, Dorina, met with a blonde elf, a tattoo of tongs and hammers on his left arm. That will be important. He would be your mark. The information that House Thurani has been compiling has been ongoing for a long time, but we finally have found evidence of something. How much do you all know about the morning?
Not a whole lot.
Yes. People have been looking into what happened to the Kingdom of Seer. In a single day, the entire country was overrun with a mysterious fog that has either killed or mutated everyone inside it. So immense was this power that the last war completely stopped. Goodness knows how long we're going to be back at war, but I get paid to assassinate during and outside of wars, so either way it's the same to us, until we learned of something. No one ever claimed responsibility for the morning. No one said that they were responsible for the atrocities committed on the country of Seer, but that didn't stop anyone from thinking, what if my country is next? We have reason to believe in intercepted messages that there is a developing superweapon being devised here at the edge of the world where no one would expect. We have corroborated evidence that test sites have been conducted on uninhabited islands. He looks very seriously into everyone's eyes here. I've seen craters 100 yards long in diameter appear on islands. And this is only the prototype. Can you imagine a cannon powerful enough to destroy an entire country? Something that, if attached to an airship, would be mobile. No one country should have this power. And so, House Thorani has taken it upon themselves to find the laboratory where this is being developed. And not to stop the progress, but to steal the blueprints for it. If one country has access to this kind of power, they're tyrants. If two countries have it, then it's mutually assured destruction and tentative peace.
I'm gonna finish my drink first of all.
Okay. It is a delicious cider. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just gonna, just throw my glass like all over the place. I don't care if it shatters. Look, I'm all for assassinations. I'm all for, easy jobs. This does not seem like an easy job. So how much are we gonna get paid? And I also want one of whatever you opened.
Easily enough to acquire. We will pay you the sum of 100 platinum pieces each.
Half of it up front, right?
Make a persuasion check.
That's going to be 19.
19?
Ooh.
The elf looks you very calmly in the eye, and after a while he just cracks a smile. I suppose you can't get very far without your own means of expensing certain what have yous to get the job done.
Well, it's more if I die, I want to enjoy some of the money,
Very well. He goes ahead and he pulls out 5 bags, and he goes ahead and he opens up into some of them, and he places 50 gold pieces in front of each of you from one of these bags. The rest upon completion of your job. Now, all that we understand is that our target is a blonde elf and a worker at the laboratory. We do not know where the laboratory is, and he is identifiable by being blonde, a full-blooded high elf, and for a tattoo, the symbol, and he pulls out a small scratch of paper. He says, the symbol of Oratar, the god of craft, which is crossed hammers and tongs. When you find him, get the information from him however you wish, whether you need to track him, torture him, charm him, bribe him, whatever needs getting done. Find this laboratory, get inside, and steal the blueprints and return here at the Siren's Palace.
What sort of support can we expect in terms of equipment or contacts within the city?
He kind of chuckles. I don't know if you noticed this, but we've been trying to keep as many people on a need-to-know basis on this as possible. Why do you think House Thorani itself is not getting involved? If it looked as though one of the dragon-marked houses were reaching into the jar of terrible secrets and destruction, then that's going to invite a lot of unnecessary prying eyes. No, you will not have much support from House Thorani, but we could supply you with a few potions of healing. I do not imagine that security will be light. If they're developing super weapons, who knows what other kind of machinations they've devised.
Anything helps.
Everything will matter in this. We will supply each of you with 1 greater healing potion each. That should be sufficient, I imagine. But as far as people go, I can offer you only this. Tonight, we have a band coming in called the Rum Ringers. I have portraits of them, and they have canceled their appearance here, and the only ones who know about it are the staff. I can give you their identities, and those of you who are able to take on the disguise of these individuals will be able to use any stardom to assert themselves over others. If someone comes up to you wearing bandanas and other sorts of trinkets, they might question the person that they're speaking to. But if a celebrity comes up, it probably changes their perspective. The option is yours to take on the table. Whether you choose to do it this way or another, it makes no difference to me. Only the results.
And you're thinking that these blueprints are in the forest where the weapon is being devised, or on the islands?
On the islands. It's being developed out here, being tested out here. From what we gather, it's got to be somewhere close by, but we can't signify any one specific area.
And say, hypothetically, if we were to find any treasure on these islands while we were finding the blueprint, would we get to keep that?
If you're plundering secret laboratories that I already don't know about, then I don't think they're going to be missing it or reporting it stolen anytime soon. The treasure is yours to keep. The blueprints are all I care about.
Right.
So can I get one of those little potions you opened right now, or 10
He-
minutes?
Opens up his coat and he kind of like rolls one across the table.
All right, thanks. How does it work again?
Popping off the top of it will make you immune to prying eyes, scrying, magical effects of any sort, and will also create a shield of silence within the radius of 30 feet. Within, you can hear everything. Outside, you can hear nothing.
Gotcha. Anything else that we need to know?
Only that if you get caught, that it is imperative that you not bring up House Thorani in any capacity. We are accustomed to silencing people if necessary.
Understood.
Great. Best of luck to you all. This conversation never happened. Oh, yes, Arail.
If we were all to take the identities of the band members, all four of us would have to, right? Like an all or nothing sort of deal?
Possibly, but if only one of you is able to, maybe that is the reason that they are not playing tonight. But you decided to come anyway. I'm sure that you could make something up. You're very clever, and you were hired for a very specific purpose.
I turn to everyone else and I ask, how do you feel about disguises?
I feel great.
If someone else could help me make one, that would be great.
I could help. Maybe all of you, depending how much time we have.
I won't
That's
cut
a
my
good
hair.
question, I think.
My hair is definitely off limits.
That's actually a good question there, Kerbal. How long do we have to complete this assignment?
I would like it to be done before the sun rises.
Oh, got it.
But for prep time, you have maybe an hour before he's due to come in. We would have Dorina point out this individual to you, but sadly, she has been missing for some time.
Sorry to hear that.
Omelets, eggs, shrugs.
Well, we should get going though. And if we don't have a lot of time, we should find a poster or something of those rum breakers.
He goes ahead and he pulls out a small parchment with the members on it. One thing you immediately notice is that they are all on the shorter side. They consist of a dwarf, a halfling, a gnome, and and it just looks like a really short human.
I think we got this covered.
Got our work cut out for us on this one.
Yeah.
So what is the party's plan here?
How long would it take me? I have a disguise kit. How long would it take me to kind of disguise? I mean, I'd be the gnome, then what? There were two dwarves, and then like some of us, I feel like it might be pretty easy. Ish.
How long? For makeup, I'd say you could probably do it in about an hour, depending on your proficiency check.
Okay.
Does Rinnick have a beard as well?
No.
Okay, I feel like then maybe you should disguise me as the dwarf because I don't know a lot of female halflings to have beards.
I was thinking I could just get on your shoulders and we can be the human, but I guess that works too.
Why wouldn't the half elf be the human?
I was fairly certain that I would be the human.
That's
Okay, yeah.
I don't think he can get any. Can you make yourself shorter?
Can I? No, I've tried.
Oh.
It didn't end well. I became a plant,
Oh.
which I guess suppose I was shorter.
That's one way.
You can just hunch over or something. Yeah, so I guess I'll start working on that.
Okay, go ahead and make, let's see, if you're doing it to 4 people, you can make 4 separate rolls. It'll be a dexterity plus, if you're proficient in it, your proficiency bonus.
First one is 16.
Okay.
19.
Cool.
16. And 7.
Okay. So, Runic, you're trying to make him up to be the which one? The halfling, the human, the which one? Halfling, human, gnome, and dwarf.
So gnome, runic would be halfling, or halfling, yeah. Mika is dwarf, and then the human is
right. So, okay. For both Runic and for Mika. Sorry, I read out. I wrote it phonetically here, and then I looked at your name here, and I was like, huh.
It's Mika, either way.
Gotcha.
Mika, she doesn't mind.
Okay. For Mika and Runic, the both of them are pretty easy to disguise up as they appear in the posters. They're sort of they have a Celtic punk rock vibe, if that makes sense. So you're pretty easy. It's pretty easy to get their likeness on there, especially since it's more of a drawing of the poster and not the actual people themselves. And you're able to do the makeup as the gnome fairly well on yourself, since you're working with a canvas that you've worked with before. And then you get to Hayriel, and you do your best, but the problem is that with the way you've done his hair, it's very. He's got an undercut. The person in here has like less hair to work with and has a full-on mohawk that stands up. The problem with that is that it definitely shows off elf ears, and there's not a lot of makeup that can really hide that fact. You've tried taping it back and like putting like makeup on top of that, but it does not look great. He is not an exact figure for this person.
Don't you know it's the newest fad amongst all the youth nowadays? They're really into elves. They love to dress up like elves and talk about elven culture. They call, I believe in Elvish, they call them weeaboos.
No, I knew this is where it was going to go.
Oh, gosh. No.
Goodness gracious. So it does stand. You can look at yourself in the mirror and see like you don't really match up to this person, and you can see the reason why. You also have knives available to you. I did it for just a look on Laura's face.
Could I wear a hat?
I suppose you could wear a hat that hides your ears. Sure.
Yeah. I could cut my hair. I'm not going to snip my ears.
You could probably like steal like a small wool knit cap to just hide your ears. You could stuff them under there best you can, but at the end of the day, you're a guy who's stuffing really long knife-like ears inside of a wrap. Things are going to look a little suspicious in the hat region.
With a mohawk too, right?
Oh yeah.
Look, we'll work with what we have.
Alrighty. About an hour later, you guys come out, and I'd like all of you to make perception checks.
12.
12.
7.
7.
7.
Excellent.
15.
15. Runic and Micah are able to look around and see 4 blonde elves in this establishment tonight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you some descriptions. There is a shortly cropped-haired elf sitting alone in a booth, no one else around him, just drinking. There are 2 that are that look very similar to each other, probably even twins, that are looking over the cockatrice fight. And there is 1 more currently at a game of chance, just rolling dice.
Do any of them seem like they have like bodyguards or anything?
No, they all seem unaccompanied.
Okay.
Right off the bat, can I see anything on any of their left arms?
Uh,
I was going to say we can always go and investigate each person.
you would need to
If we
get
really
close
need
enough
to.
to see like their left arm.
Okay.
I mean, you can see people playing, but some of them have like little bands or like things tied up, as is traditional Lazar fashion. A lot of people have just unnecessary things tied up, like leather bands and bracelets and WWTD bands. Shoot, I meant S. I suck. Never mind. Which one do you want to go to?
Mika is going to head over towards the dice game.
Okay.
She wants to avoid the cockatrice fight.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Runic would head over to the dice game as well.
Okay. What about both Kerbal and Hayriel?
I'll go over to the fight.
Okay.
And you said there's one at the bar?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go to the bar.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the bar encounter first. Hayriel, you walk up to this closely cropped gentleman with... well, to clarify, he's not at the bar. He's at the booth drinking alone.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the one you met, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You go
Is the
up
booth next to him empty?
It is not. It looks like this place is pretty packed, but he's taken up a pretty big booth for just himself. As you walk over, he kind of looks up at you for a moment, just like social-wise, just looking around at people, takes a look at you, looks away.
How is... He's not at a booth at the end of the row or anything, like he's in the middle?
Yeah, he's in the middle.
Did I notice anything strange about him as I passed him or no?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. $19.
19. You look over and you do see that his shirt comes up to his elbows. As far as suspicious goes, it doesn't look as though, like, it doesn't appear as though he's waiting for anyone else, just from the way that he's just hanging out on his own here. Looks like he just grabbed a seat wherever he could.
Okay, I'm gonna take a seat across from him in his booth.
He looks up and he says, "Well, hello there."
Hail and what's up, my dude?
He like chuckles. He's like, "Not much, honestly. I thought I'd drop by and get a drink. Do we know each other?"
No, but I was going to drink alone, and it appeared you were drinking alone, and now we could be 2 friends drinking together.
That sounds fine. What are you having?
Just a simple lager.
I decided to go with one of their barreled whiskeys. It's doing fine. Just can't stand the sweeter stuff.
I understand that. I've noticed you've taken quite the large booth for yourself.
Yeah, I was supposed to be meeting friends. One by one, I received sending spells and messages telling me that they weren't going to be here. But I was already here, and I saved the booth, so I thought I'd at least finish my drink.
Quite unfortunate.
It happens.
Well, you've got me now.
That I do. To your health. What's your name?
Storm is my name.
Storm.
Yes,
Well,
my parents were not very creative when they named me.
Well, Storm, my name is Voneth.
Voneth. Nice
Yes.
to meet you, Voneth.
The pleasure is mine. To you. Down at the cockatrice fight, Kerbal, you go ahead and make your way down into this area where it's essentially a pit elevated with people around, and you just see them just kind of like pecking at each other. There's a blue one and a green one currently fighting each other. It looks like they kind of circle themselves for a little bit, and then it's just like really like intense 5 seconds that are permeated with those same pauses that they kind of eye each other up. The twins are just kind of looking down. It doesn't look like they're as invested in this as other people. And as one of them looks over, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Devin Starshine!" The other twin like perks up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we thought that we thought it was canceled. What are you guys going on tonight?"
Oh, hi. From the picture of this guy, like, how would I think this person talks?
You would think that it's a bit of an Irish brogue. You'd guess.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. I mean, hi. I'm one of the. Do I know any of their names?
Nope.
Okay. You know, my lad, he wasn't feeling so hot. Too much beer from the other night, so we're not going on tonight. But how are you?
We're good. We're great. My name is Sovalis. This is my brother Uthamar Lyodon, and we came here to see your show. We traveled all the way from Thrain to try and catch it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, this is way better. We were just gonna see a show. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're fans. My accent is
No, would it be too much to try and get just a quick autograph? I'm sorry.
Of course.
They go ahead and like the one behind him is like picking up and he's dropping. He's like, "Oh, stupid." That's like, he's like trying not to look you in the eye. He's like, I'm a big fan of yours. And like just kind of like hands you a small book with like yellow parchment inside of it.
So nice to meet ya. And I like just like a celebrity, what I think is like a celebrity something or other that is not readable.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make an investigation check while you're over there to kind of like check out their arm.
Okay. $18.
On both of the twins' left arm, you can clearly see that there is a tattoo there, and it looks like it's the symbol for the rum ringers.
Oh no. Okay.
You also, with your investigation check, you're kind of looking over and you realize that they have similar haircuts to how the rest of the band kind of looks also. These guys look like they're legit fans.
Would they be like groupies if they could see this band all the time?
Yeah, they look the part of someone who really likes your music.
Awesome.
Or at least who you're pretending to be.
Yeah. Lovely meeting ya. So nice.
No, it's just for those like, "Thank you for the autograph." And, like they begin to like talk about it excitedly, but by that point you finally get out of range and you start to hear like the telltale sign of two birds like going at each other once again. And then we go back to the table with the game of chance. Both the mountain dwarfs roll up to this table. It looks like they're playing a game of high or lows. As you guys come up, there is a couple of people who've just left the table on the opposite side of the elf. You guys want to?
I look at Micah, right? Micah. It's like I'm not. I don't have money. Do you want to play?
I have 60 gold now, so I don't know if that's enough.
Well, it's more than me.
Can I just go around the other side, like just kind of observe? Is there any way to see this person's arm without having to sit down and play a game at the table?
Absolutely. You can go ahead and
Okay.
circle around. First, give me like a stealth check. This is more about being nonchalant.
Okay. I don't think I'm very good at that. Oh, I'm not terrible. A 19.
Alrighty. So instead of singing out "Don't be suspicious" as you're like walking by this guy, you kind of look over and you see his arm. He does seem to have a tattoo with like a small hammer jutting from one portion of it, but the rest of his sleeve obscures the rest of it.
Can I? Is there anybody like walking around with drinks?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of like servers out and about.
I'm just gonna like quickly like pick one up, and I'm gonna go behind.
Oh, that's I'm gonna let you slide a hand that one.
Sure. All right, it's gonna be 12.
12. You are able to grab something, not looking at it as you do. It doesn't look like she noticed, but as you bring it up, you realize it is in a coconut. It is orange, and there's a bunch of fruit coming out of it.
Okay. I'm gonna go behind the
boy.
elf, and I assume Ameka at this point is on the other side, right?
That's correct.
I'm just gonna look at you, kind of like nod.
She nods back.
I'm just gonna like pour down the drink.
Like on the guy.
Yeah, on the guy.
Oh,
He's like.
I thought he was nodding because he was saying like, "Do you see it like a tattoo?" And so she doesn't pick up what's going on, and she just freezes.
As soon as I do that, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm just gonna like grab at his like any cover that he has here.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like try and like rip it off.
As you do, he's like, "What in the? Hey, that's my arm! That you ripped my. Well, I never." As you can see, he does have a tattoo symbol on his arm of the tongs and hammer. He's like, "Excuse me, can I get some fucking help over here?" He like takes some. Someone like provides him with towels, and other people come up to start cleaning up the mess. He's like, "Well, you've ruined a perfectly nice tunic. I hope you have some good reason for it. This cost me a day's wages."
And how much is that?
12 gold.
I'm just gonna.
Oh,
Sorry, I forgot to press space. I'm just gonna pick out 12 gold pieces and like put them on the counter.
He's like, "I'll consider this asshole tax. Thank you." And he simply pockets it in his, he's like, "Goodness gracious."
I was gonna look at him like, "I'm sorry, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm on my second drink."
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
I'll come over here at this point to Runic and go, "Are you drunk again? I so deeply apologize for my cousin. He gets like this when he drinks a little bit. Come on, we need to go. Let the man clean up. I'm so sorry."
I should hope so. And he continues just like wiping himself off. He goes off to like what looks to be like a lavatory. Back at the table, Ariel, you and Vanather are just talking it up and just being like, "So after the whole privateering gig ended back on after the last war, I decided to just pick up sailing, taking people to and from islands."
So you're a sailor?
Well, by trade, I'm a privateer, but there's not a lot of work for that unless you want to still kill people, which never really enjoyed.
What kind of islands do you visit often that people pay you to go to?
Well, if you were to take a dagger and throw it at a map of the Lazar Principalities, I've probably been to that island. I could tell you all about different areas. There was a time that I visited and I worked underneath Kolber Khan on their island. He kind of leans close. He's like, "Those guys are following that weird religion over in Karnath. Blood of Vol? Something about unlocking the potential of immortality in your blood. Strange."
Does sound quite strange.
But I mean, I've been all over this place. I could tell you all about, let's see, Starkwood. I could tell you about Oswar, Orthos. As you get farther north, it gets a little bit harder to sail because the ice starts collecting around, and better times in the season to go and check out those places.
I lean in as if very interested in his story, but as I do, I accidentally tip over my mug onto him.
Oh gosh, the primary strategy of this team short people is to just knock drinks on people. Alrighty, go ahead and make as you do so. You get close and he kind of spills, and he's like, "Oh, goodness." And he kind of like pulls off and begins to like wring out some of the drink on his floor. As you look under his band, it looks like it is completely blank.
Okay, And I tell him, oh, my apologies, man. Is the drink quite strong for how cheap it is?
That's all right. If I got upset anytime I got wet, I wouldn't be a very good sailor.
I well, I apologize to him. Sorry. I stay and I chat with him a little bit more. I don't want to leave yet and make it really clear, like, oh, I've spilled this drink on you. Goodbye.
You guys continue your conversation for a bit. How are you going to excuse yourself?
If you'll excuse me, sir. As much as I've spilled drink on you, I must also spill drink into a receptacle. Could you point me to the restroom?
This is down there.
Okay.
Everyone is touching their face. They're like, oh my gosh.
I go into the restroom. Is it? Am I alone in there? Do I have like a little private stall that I can slip into?
You can. There are areas where you can make waste into a chamber pot that are sectioned off, but there are also there's just like that tray of ice that it's placed.
Oh,
out
I
in
love
some places.
that. The very European thing. We don't get that in American bars.
It looks like there's just a blonde elf in there, just relieving himself.
There's a blonde elf in here.
Well, yeah, he got spilled the drink on also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I slip into one of the stalls.
Okay, you do so.
And I quietly cast message to the other three. I tell them my dude's a bust.
All three of you hear this in your head.
Are you waiting for me to say it?
My
dude's a bust.
I'm just gonna be like, I think we found the guy.
We're able to reply?
Yeah, you are. You may reply to this
message.
I'll
say the same thing. You may reply to this message. Yes, he was at the game of chance.
Okay. I cast message again, affirming both Runic and Mika, and I head out. I tapped the poor man, Vanith, on the back once more, said, I am sorry, my good sir.
Oh, Vanith is upstairs. The one that's in the bathroom with you is the guy who got the drink spilled on by these two.
Oh God, I completely I've misunderstood everything.
Oh, I probably should have said that. I'll say he headed to the chamber pot or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, that changes everything. I'm so sorry.
As you're exiting, you're like washing your hands just as you hear this, and you look over at the blonde elf who's like finishing up, and you just start to hear like the Kill Bill sound starts going through your head.
I look over to him. I go, hello.
He says, he just kind of gives you like a strange look.
And in his confusion, I say out loud while casting message to the rest of the three is, you need to come to the bathroom right now. You need to come to the bathroom right now. You need to come to the bathroom right now. And I'm hoping that confuses him long enough for him to be like, what?
What? We're in the bathroom, sir.
Oh, yes, we are. Sorry.
I'm just gonna like rush
conniptions.
Runic, you make it into the bathroom. Everyone else following in?
I was gonna say after looking at Runic, I would follow if that was the consensus.
I heard that too. I heard, come to bathroom now.
You do. You arrive at the restroom. All three of you kind of crowd in, and after the three of you enter, he kind of like looks around. He's like, "Look, I don't have much gold on me. If you're fixing to rob me, you should know. Pockets end." And he like throws what looks to be like this white powder at you guys. And he tries to make his way past you. Runic, you're the closest person to you. If you want to make a strength check to grab him, you can.
Question, what is the powder?
You don't know yet. But
do you know the effects?
Oh, you'll know in a second when I ask you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's going to be it would be acrobatics, right? No, it would be athletics. So a 5.
5. He breaks free of your grasp as he passes on by you. Yo.
Can I try and grab him?
Absolutely.
Since I followed right behind Renick, athletics check.
Yep. I rolled for athletics and I did not do well.
16.
I got a 1.
Hey.
Ooh. So as he seems to be tripped up by Runic, and you are able to like grab and hold on to him in a very quick hold. He's like, get off of me! What? He like kind of like reaches for a dagger, but it comes loose and it like falls onto the floor. He's like, what do you want? It's about that girl? I don't know anything about her.
Girl?
Are you talking about Dorina?
Like I said, I don't know. She served me drinks a few days ago. That's the last I saw of her. I said this all to the guards the last time I was here.
So you know her name?
I know it because people have been asking me where she is, and who are you? What are you, guards?
No, we're the rum breakers. And rum's not the only thing we're gonna break tonight.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh Lord.
Can I assist since I'm holding him?
Yes, I will say you may have advantage on that, Mr.
Absolutely.
Mr. Stormcaller.
Oh, it was a 20 and a 19.
He looks and he's like, oh God. We just left. She was friendly. She got off of her shift. We had a little to drink, and I don't remember what happened. I don't recall.
He's gonna look at him and I was like, please take a seat.
He looks over at the chamber pot. He's like, are you serious?
Please.
He kind of like moves over. Currently, he like goes over and he sits on the chamber pot. He's like, look, Nine Bay is run by House Thorani. Everybody knows that, but I don't think you can arrest me for this. I can pay. I have a very promising prospect that is going to pay off very soon, and I can pay for the loss of labor.
I'm gonna look to everybody. Like, can somebody make sure that the door is locked?
I got it.
Crumble, you go over and you're able to. I could say with thieves' tools, you can also fashion a way for this thing to like be disabled, so people can't get into it from the outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the guy at the elf. I was like, I kind of wanted this to be a little bit more official, but since we have to talk here, like, we can kill you. We can.
Yes, I gathered that.
We won't if you give us information.
What do you need to know?
I'm just gonna start opening up the little potion thing.
Okay. And the stick lights up. There's a small spark and flash and smoke begins to come out of it. The effect is taking place.
I'm like, look, nobody can hear us. You're just alone here with us. You give us information, we'll get you out of the city alive.
His face kind of goes white. He's like, you're not interested in the girl, are you?
I'm interested in many girls. Not that one.
I wonder if Rachel is.
Or she is.
Oh, good. I was hoping. All right. He says, "What do you need to know?"
I have a pressing interjection, if you will, Runic. What we need to know is what you've just thrown in our faces.
Yeah.
Runic, do you want to respond?
The little candle thing?
Oh no, the
dust
powder
that he threw, yeah.
threw at us, yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, that was just some makeup."
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, go for it.
22.
22. From what it seems like, this guy is, well...
Who carries just a bunch of makeup powder in their pocket?
It's like, listen, I supposedly it's a fashion to look paler, so I just keep it in my pocket just to have in case. I didn't know how much. This is really none of your business. You're fine. You're not. It's not anything particular. He's lying to you.
Okay. Well, I am Filipino, so I do know
What
about
does
the
that
fashion.
mean?
I do know about the fashion of wanting to look paler. And I take some of the powders on my face.
Okay.
And I go boop, and I boop him on the nose with it.
Okay.
And then I grab his head and crack it into the wall behind him.
Okay. Go ahead and just make a general. I'll just give him a point of damage. Keep it simple. He's like, oh, okay. I meet my dealer here. It's drug.
And what drug is it?
They call it moon dust. I figured it was the only thing I had on hand, and everyone now can make a Constitution saving throw.
Would this be considered poison?
I would say yes for the circumstances.
Okay, I have, and so should Rinnick, advantage on getting poison.
I would an 18.
Would it be considered magic?
It would not be considered magic.
This is a con save?
This is a con save.
Okay, excellent. 21.
Okay.
16 for me.
12. Okay. 16. Good.
18.
18. All of you feel like just a general lackadaisical feeling kind of wash over you for a moment. As soon as you feel it kind of taking place, you realize you probably didn't take too much of that essence in order to make you feel the full effects of the drug. So you've all saved on that con.
Right. Well, whatever may have happened with Darina may not have been illegal, but drugging people is.
You'd have to be able to prove that, I think.
I'm just gonna look at Harry.
I look at him.
Wait, go for it. Finish.
I look at him and his dust-covered hand.
I'm gonna look to you, Harry. He's like, wait, give me a second. I'm gonna like drop down my bag and everything. I'm gonna look for my rings, put them on my ring hand.
Oh gosh.
Like, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
It's like, ah!
Do I have to roll to hit?
You're gonna hit him? No,
Yeah.
I'll say you can hit him in a bathroom stall where it's not possible for him to dodge. Go for it.
All right, it's just gonna be 1 point of damage.
Okay, you punch him in the face. He's like, look, are you collectors for the dealer? What are you?
I want to look to see if he's wearing anything shiny, or any kind of rings or anything shiny.
In fact, he has 2 gold bands on his wrist.
Cool. And he's like tied down at this point?
Not tied down, but he's on a chamber pot, flanked on either side by 2 of these laughing idiots, by both the dwarf and the elf.
I go up to him and I say, "Don't move!" And I start taking off all his shiny things and then put it on. And then I go, I'm sorry. I really like shiny things, but I feel really bad when I steal them.
This is the weirdest robbery I've ever been a part of.
Who do you work for?
I work for many Musgraven.
Do you feel bad about any of the jobs you're doing right now?
Right now, I feel bad about everything that led me to this moment.
We're not here to actually, well, I guess we have already robbed you. We just want to know about the lab that you work for. That line of work, specifically.
The lab is not far from here. It's located in an underground bunker patrolled by mechanical devices that Minnie has developed herself, as well as 2 scouts. I can take you there. As long as I can leave this place alive.
And how do we know that as soon as we get there, you're not going to call the guards?
I was going to ask about an insight check.
Oh, you can go ahead and make an insight check.
Can I assist in that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you all seen the movie Prisoners? Well, I reach into my bag and I pull out a hammer.
Oh gosh.
I rolled a.
This is gonna get real dark here, people. Welcome to After Hours.
Am I rolling that with advantage because he assisted, or?
I'll say yeah.
Okay. I was like, it's still decent. Okay, 17.
17. He's a very difficult man to read, especially with that last sentence. It says, listen, if you're worried, then I don't have to go with you. I can point out where it is, and as long as I'm allowed to leave, you can go. We haven't even made a breakthrough yet. They can't get beyond just causing big craters. Minnie's trying to up her scale quite a bit. It's not worth the paycheck if it gets me beat up in a bathroom stall on some godforsaken country. This is not why I left Zolargo.
I think that sounds agreeable. Does everybody else feel the same?
Yeah, but he'll just mark it on a map. That'll be fine.
I'm gonna take an arrow and just quickly stab him with it. Just like in and out. And
What?
I'm just gonna look at him with like the blood hopefully still like on the tip of the arrow. It's like, now we'll be able to find you anywhere. So don't fuck with us.
Okay. Can you actually find anyone anywhere with that blood?
No.
Okay, make a deception check.
That is going to be deception for a 14.
He says, I didn't know what I was getting into. It was just an easy job. Tonight never happened. If you're happy with that, I'm happy with that.
It's like, is there any way you can get out of the city safe?
Oh, I can certainly try.
You should.
I will. He goes ahead and takes a small piece of he takes like a napkin from one of the tables and writes you out like a quick little area as to where you can find this bunker on 9 Bay Island. Says, this is what you're looking for. Am I free to go?
I'm just gonna look around. Kerbal, anything else you want to take from this guy?
She took my gold bands.
Just the gold
I'm
bands.
sorry about that.
Then would you want to give them back? They're pretty expensive.
I feel really bad, but also they're very shiny. Do you have anything else that's shinier?
No.
Fine, take one. Okay, bye.
He takes one. He's like, that actually worked out better for me. And like puts it on his arm again.
Is there anything you're leaving out?
There are a homunculi ran by an artificer in an underground bunker, patrolled by 2 scouts on the surface. The weapon is functional, but not to the degree that everyone wants it to be yet. Nope, that's pretty much it.
Got it.
I'm just gonna look to everybody. Like, is everybody okay with him leaving?
Yeah.
So long as this conversation didn't happen.
This conversation never happened. And he looks over at Runic, who has a bit of his blood still in the air. He's like, and even if it did, I would never talk about it to anyone that I know.
Good.
I'm satisfied.
Yes, I am as well.
And the whole little potion that I got from the guy, the no scrying and the shield of silence, it already got consumed, right?
Yeah. Alrighty. He goes ahead and he leaves and this place for good. Oh, yeah.
Before he leaves,
Yeah.
I tell him, you should quit the moon sugar, buddy.
Yeah. You're not my mom. Leaves. Alrighty. Do you guys want to do anything else inside the Siren's Palace?
I think make us good.
I think if anything, we should get supplies and then head out. What time of day is it?
Night. It's about 10 o'clock in the evening.
Never mind.
Alrighty. Then are you guys just gonna follow this map over to where this area is? Okay. I need one person to make a survival check.
Who has the best?
I do.
I got elven eyes.
I've got a plus. How do you have elven? Huh?
No.
I've got a +3 to survival.
You broke Christian with that. Damn that weave, though. Damn.
I would like to make a perception check to see if Rinnick is part elf.
Go for it.
It's just the hair.
It's just the hair. It's a weave. It's like imported.
I rolled a 2.
He might be. That hair is pretty luxurious.
Make us convinced.
On our way out, like while we're leaving, can I quickly scribble like on a piece of paper? I want to write a message to my best friend from home, Toggle, who we grew up and like trained each other as spies, and we stole shiny things from old ladies together, but like we keep in touch and we help each other out. So I just want to write to him and be like, "Hi Toggle, I'm on this mission. I was wondering if you know anything about a bunker and a plan and some blueprints, and if you know anything, let me know. Thanks, bud. Bye." And then I'm able to find local messengers really fast that are in that are other thieves, and like give it to them and potentially get an answer somewhat fast from the underground thief network.
Gotcha. Okay. What is your background? That's wild. Is it just criminal or?
It's criminal spy. Yeah, I have a reliable, trustworthy contact.
Alrighty. You get it to your guy Benny, who's going to get it over to Toggle. The network is somewhat. It isn't a particularly reliable one this far out northeast, but you don't know when it will come or what form it will take. But the message has been sent out. The call has been. Dang it! How do I make this a Lord of the Rings joke?
The beacon has been lit.
The beacon's been lit. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we arrive at this area?
I want to put my rings away.
Okay, you put your rings away.
I also want to potentially tie up my hair.
Okay, potentially, or you
Potentially.
Wait. Okay, are you actually tying up your hair?
Yeah, like up, like literally just up.
When your hair is tied up, you will have to make straight rolls instead of ones with advantage anytime you try to charm someone using the hair. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay. That's a lie, guys. We did not make that before. We did not give him magic hair.
I was like, this is some Rapunzel shit.
Alrighty. You guys venture out. Who's making the wisdom save or the survival check?
I did. It was a 14.
14. About a half hour later, you guys are able to follow this map roughly to an area where you see two people with longbows just kind of hanging out. No lights kind of surround them. There appears to be it's kind of just covered in sand, but there is a small door that is built into the ground. And it looks like they're just kind of passing the time, just talking, looks like.
Do we all see them?
Oh yeah, you're about 60 feet away, and there's enough like of the actual like their buildings still around. 60 feet away, it's these two people around what looks to be like an enclosure, like a small door.
Are there any nearby alleyways?
You are in one.
Is there a different one?
Yes, you can go to a different alleyway if you need to.
I cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
Into the other alleyway.
Okay.
And it is the sound of a very loud and scared crying baby.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Ooh. It's a 1.
Cool, I got a 17. So the sound is heard, and someone like hears it, like kind of look to each other. And one begins to go off there, and then it looks like one of the scouts say to the other one, like, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's none of our business. It's probably just some lady who can't get her kid to sleep." And he comes back to where that door is.
I turn to my party. Wow, these guys are assholes.
Isn't that kind of what we expected?
Is there any way we can? Do you guys see anybody else? Is it just two of them?
I only saw 2 of them.
Do you think we can take them out quickly, fast?
We could do it quickly, but can we do it quietly?
Everything's quiet if you roll good initiative.
How far are we from there?
60 feet.
I mean, I have javelins that I could try and throw from afar, but I do my work best when I'm close up, so I don't know how great of stealth I would be.
Guys, I want to try something. It might not work. So it's good to have a backup plan.
I am 100% behind this plan.
But I'll be right back. And I want to try and like stealth a little closer and get behind some cover so they don't see me.
Well, that'll be a stealth check.
So I'll first do that. Yes.
Don't be suspicious. Good. Don't be suspicious.
24.
Okay. I get 2 guards. And 24, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. You get low. You're able to kind of move in the darkness pretty easily, and you've had some practice like sneaking up on people before. It's a lot of like moving from barrel to crate to bush nearby. And I'd say at this point you're about maybe 15 feet away from one of them.
Okay. So I have all of these. I'm a tinker. So, and my whole thing is I've made all these weird traps and things to annoy my elderly next door neighbors. And that's how I became so good at what I do.
Dear God. So, okay. I'm following.
I have these little tiny clockwork devices and I want to chuck them out there and like potentially, if they're allowed to do this, have them like move around and like distract that, like create a diversion.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and make a general deception check for me.
Okay.
You can make a performance if you'd prefer.
Oh God. Well, I'll go with deception. It's gonna be an 8.
An 8. Okay, Runic, what did you? I saw your hand up for a second there.
I'm just gonna, as soon as Kerbal leaves, I'm gonna look to everybody like, does he do this often? Do you guys? Why?
Look, I met them the same time you did.
As you see Kerbal move, like you can kind of admire how light on his feet he is, and how the guards never even like look over to see them. And then you see like a couple of pair of hands coming up from the this little reef of tall grass, like twist something and throw it. And at first you think it's explosive, and then it like hits the sand, and the mechanisms that move are sticking out of the sand going and like both of the scouts kind of look over at this thing. They're like, what is that? And like one of them even like knocks an arrow back. He comes up with a short sword. He kind of like goes over to it, takes it out. He's like, he like picks it up. He's like, where did this come from? He's going to go ahead and make a perception check. That's not detect. It looks like Kerbal at this time. But he goes ahead and he takes out like an arrow and knocks it back. He's like, all right, you can hear me. Best not be messing around. Go on. Come on out. We're not going to hurt you. Kerbal, are you staying where you're at?
Oh God. So I run out.
Okay.
I run out and I start crying. I go, I can't find my mom. I can't find my mom. And I start chucking more of the clockwork devices.
And that's where we're going to take intermission. All right. We're going to go on a brief break and deal with that in like 10 seconds. We're going on break for about 15 minutes. I have 31 on my clock, so we'll be back at 46. Go ahead and mute your mics and mute your videos. I can hear you laughing, even though I can't hear you laughing. Go ahead and mute your mics and your videos, and we'll be back in just a bit. Investigating it, the scouts were beholden to the sight of a gnome boy coming out of a bush and throwing noisemakers around, all while screaming, I can't find my mom. Party, you see all of this. All of you are 60 feet away, and I would like initiative rolls from everybody.
It's gonna be 14 for me. Wait, no, you.
25 to 20. 19 to 15. Guys. Okay. Also, go ahead and disable the mute.
Swing an arrow to the nearest person I can see.
Okay, so you come out of stealth. Are you walking up 30 feet or are you staying where you're at?
I'm walking up 25 feet.
25 feet, okay. Gonna make a note of that. Cool.
And then I'm just gonna shoot whoever is closest to me.
Go for it, girl. Do it.
That's going to be an 18 to hit.
18 absolutely will hit. Holy crap, what's the damage?
It's going to be a total amount of 4 damage.
4 damage. Proud of you. Okay, you go ahead and you loose an arrow and you strike into the stomach of this guy who's just kind of standing up, be like, what the oh, like breaks it off. He's like, get him. Bonus action.
Nothing for this round.
Excellent. Hey, Riel, what do you want to do? You're 60 feet away.
I want to move up, so I'm adjacent with Runic. I'm on his right.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor, and that's going to be it for my turn.
Cool. First scout's going to go. So the noticeable person to hit would be Runic. So let's go ahead and try to hit him. Alrighty. So with a longbow, that's going to be 15. Does that hit?
15 does hit.
Girl. All right. Where's my D8? Here we go. That is 4 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
From the first guard. Scout's got 2 range attacks. Go ahead and do the same thing. That one is going to be 8. I'm guessing that does not hit.
No.
fires 2 quick shots at you. Only one of them manages to graze by your arm. The second one's going to go ahead and take aim at the sorcerer. That'll be 9 to hit, so I'm guessing that doesn't. Fine. Second attack. 18.
Yeah, that does.
Cool. That's going to be 8 points of damage.
8?
8.
Okay.
It strikes right into the side of your pelvis, hitting the bone and causing like a shock to your system that reaches all the way down to your knee. They are going to go ahead and move. Let's see here. 15. Going to be on this side and this side. So they can do a melee attack if they need to out the rogue. Which, by the way, Kerbal, oh my gosh, it's your turn.
Hey. I'm gonna go up to the. Oh, are they're both next to me right now?
Yes, they are. Went ahead to move.
The one to my right.
Okay.
I'm gonna dagger and then do another offhand dagger attack.
Do it.